Welcome to the best evening sports show on the planet, the DMV Sports Talk Show, with your host, Razul McGee from Springfield, Virginia. We keep you updated on all sports in the DMV with the In the Zone Sports Talk Radio Network. And be sure to download the Try 99 TV app on any smart device and subscribe to In the Zone Sports Talk Television. The cost is $4.95. Thank you in advance for your support. Now, let's get into the DMV Sports Talk Show.
Welcome to another edition of DMV Sports Show. I'm your host, Razul McGee. You guessed it, and you guessed it right. It's Saturday. That's right, it's Saturday to hear the sports that you want to hear on your weekend. We got a lineup that is going to knock your socks off. We're going to talk about the Washington Commanders, OTAs, what they hearing, what they saying, who they like, who they don't like. We're also going to talk about the Washington Wizards. NBA draft is coming up, and the Washington Wizards are selecting 8. Who are the prospects? And we're going to talk about the NBA Finals as well. Denver, Heat, who you got? I'll tell you who's leading, who's not. I'm also going to talk about the Baltimore Orioles. I cannot say enough about this team that's shining right now. I'll tell you what the record is and who they're going against. And if they're going to a pennant, you're here first. So you're not who's with the most. Here's what I'm also going to talk to you about. We're going to talk about the U.S. men's soccer team, who they got next, what they're going to do. I'm going to show you. So, also, we're going to talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. Call-in number is 512-543-4662. I'm going to say it again, 512-543-4662. Make sure you state your name, where you're from, and who you represent, and yes, in the sports world. So with that being said, we got 2 of callers already in. We got 202-751-6780 from Washington, D.C. State your name for the record, please.
This is Steve Davidson. How you doing, Razul?
What's good, Steve? And also none other than the telephone number 540-354-3314. We all know who it is. The 2 of the best teams on the calls right now. Who am I speaking with?
It's Maryland.
Maryland, the coach. The coach is here. So let's go ahead and start the show with the Washington Commanders. So the Washington Commanders had the OTAs, and surprisingly, I thought this one player who didn't show anything is actually shining in the OTAs. I'm going to tell you who this player is. This player is none other than SAADIQ Charles. Yes, the former LSU star on the offensive line is now showing the people of Washington Commanders shining through. And we just have another caller. State your name for the record, please.
Hey, this is Kev. How you doing, Razul?
I'm good, Kev. This is Kev Dixon, in the Zone Sports Talk Show. So we were just starting off the show right now with SAADIQ Charles of the Washington Commanders, who just showed exceptionally well technique and strength, and the coaching staff really likes him a lot. But the person that's not showing so well is the recently drafted Chris Paul. So, and then don't get it confused. It's not Chris Paul, the point guard, who was just released from the Sun, but Chris Paul, the player of football. So we'll go around the horn. I want to start with Steve first. What do you think about that, Steve?
Like I said, the Canadian Stars, like I said, we got a powerful offense. We got, to me, we got the third best offense in the league with the people we picked up, the guy from Kansas City, the left tackle from Pittsburgh, and then the guys we got, the center we have. we already got the number one defensive line in the NFL. So, and then we picked up the surprise quarterback from Mississippi State. So we got an awesome team. And then Chase Young is playing to the consensus and Sweat. So we and this is money years for both of them. So we got an awesome team. And OTAs, this has been one of the best OTAs we had in a long time.
That is absolutely true. That is absolutely true. I want to also say that point about Chase Young and how he's playing. He's actually showing more explosives than what recent articles have stated. He's actually showing more bursts than he ever has before. Outstanding. Marilyn, what are your thoughts?
Oh, actually, I'm very enthusiastic about it. It's getting to be, well, right now, and when they get to the training camp, that's when I want to, really get into it.
Yeah, that would be
great.
great.
We do have some really good players. Now, I did find, and I'm going to show it to you, Red.
Okay.
And it's a picture. I'm not going to say who it is, but I'm going to show it to you.
Okay.
I'm send it to you.
I'll be looking for that picture. No, the great thing. Well, Chris Paul is actually the recent selected guard, or center. I think it's left guard. I'm not sure, but I'll research that. He's one of the bright spots that's coming out of the draft, but he's not faring well in the OTAs. But he probably do well in the training. Preseason and training camp coming up. But I'm looking for what I'm most happy about is the running game. We got Chris Rodriguez, we have Antonio Gibson, you have Brian Robinson, and we have. Well, let me also say this, but Logan Thompson is now showing more, and Cole Turner is actually showing more of a burst now in this offense. Let's go with Kev with his thoughts.
OTAs is okay. Best thing, the only thing you need to be concerned about OTAs is that nobody gets hurt.
True.
Everybody gets repetition to get better at the skill position that they're playing. And that's the main thing I think you want to look at. You want to look at the progression of the rookies or the free agents coming in, understanding the system that they have in place, offensively and defensively. The only question I have about the Redskins is this thing about Chase being they put him out to be traded, or they're looking at possibilities of trading him, putting him out there for trade. I don't agree with that at all. I think that you have to give him enough time to get yourself together physically. And what I think a lot of people don't understand is that you spend 2 years in college and then you come out, okay? And your body's not really developed ready for the NFL. So that's why they have these OTA things of that nature. So those things you have to fine tune. It's just unfortunately that he's been hurt for the beginning of his career.
No, he had a very, very
so that is a great point.
Surgery was
he had when you have a nerve damage in your knee and then you go at the end of the year to have it repaired, it takes a psychological toll on you, and then you have to go through intensive knee training to repair all the ligaments or have that power restored back in your knee. To Kevin's point.
They had to take parts from his other leg.
And so I think that they're, if wherever there's smoke, there's fire. But I think Chase Young would do good in Washington.
Yep.
I look for Washington to be competitive in that division.
Yes.
I know I'm not a Washington fan. I'm not gonna say that I believe that they're gonna be better than Dallas, or they're gonna be better than the Eagles, or better than the Giants. But I think they're gonna be competitive to the point where they're gonna be in games. They will be in games in the fourth quarter, and that's all you're looking for is the progression of getting better. I think that Rivera is probably on the hot seat this year, and I think that he knows it. It's not his fault either, because he came into a situation that wasn't good. And we know that Rivera can be a good coach. We've seen him before.
Mm-hmm. He is a good coach.
But you know how some of our somehow the fans of teams are very impatient on teams being progressive as far as taking steps forward to win.
True. True. Very true.
So my thing is, I just want to see Chase Young get healthy, and let's see how really good he is. We've seen spurts of how well he can play, how good he can be, how great he can be. You know what I'm saying? If he can stay healthy, he's definitely, he has the potential to be a Hall of Famer. He's potential to get his name in a ring of fire up there. So
let me interject there. You're actually absolutely right. There's Kev. So the reason why the Washington Commanders have not took up his 5th-year option, this is his 4th-year option they picked up in his 3rd year. The reason why they're not picking up his 4th-year option, because he needs to do this for himself to gain confidence. They did the same thing with Daron Payne, and then that's when they immediately picked up his 5th year option. So after seeing what I heard or read what I heard from the reports, Chase Young is actually taking on this very, very well. And he showed this amazing burst in the first OTA training, which means that it's a good sign. It's a great sign that he's going to excel this year. The only problem I have with this is, do you sit him down and put somebody in, or do you keep him in for the four quarters? Now, it's Kev, you and I know playing this game can be very, very fast paced, and you can have a blown out knee, just like any offensive lineman. The problem I have is duration of time, right? So do you keep him on defense? Do you let him go full blast, full speed up? Or do you take half of his minutes, sit him down, and put him in the fourth quarter when you really need him? What do you say about that, Kez? I want to hear your thoughts on that.
I think that you allow him to play. You allow him to play in the game. There may be, if you're looking for, like, if it's a third and 10 or third and 15, where he could just blow off the ball. I think you keep him in the game. I think you manage his minutes as far as, you manage how many plays he plays during the game. And you want to see the progression. And if you think about it, Razoo, you're probably not going to see him during preseason. Okay?
Right.
So, and even though we know now that a lot of teams don't play their stars during preseason, it comes back and bite them in the first couple of weeks of the season. But you're looking at a 17-game week. You're looking at a 17-game season.
Yep.
So some teams will say, well, the first 4 weeks don't really matter as important as the last 4 weeks. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But you probably won't see him at all in the preseason. But as long as he's ready to go, I think you probably clock his plays he plays, and see how well he does. And as he gets better, his number of plays that he plays becomes more and more and more till you get to the point where, I think you're ready to go full tilt.
That's an excellent point.
And I think they're really going to be cautious about this situation because there is money on the line. You know what I'm saying? You just said they didn't pick up they had the team option to pick up the 4th. Now he got the 5th year. So he's playing for a lot right now. He's playing to get that bag.
Yep.
And things of that nature. So he's going to be really motivated, you know. But I love Chase, man. I think that's a great pickup for Redskins.
Smart.
I just want to see the guy play.
He can have smart during
he's exciting to play.
Yeah, absolutely good point, Kev. Marilyn, you were saying, go ahead and repeat what you were saying.
I said, Chase is a smart guy. He can, like I've told you many times, he can see things with the opposite, offense, even before anybody else. And he knows. Boom, gone. That's it. You can go. It's the fact.
Yes.
That is something that we need. And I would not, give that up.
His
psychological, yes, from that operation, I can understand that. It took him a while. So, and he's getting out there. He's doing it. There's 2 teams that would love to trade and get him. And you know what? If they do, they're going to lose. We're going to lose a good one.
So,
I'm speaking the truth. I'm looking at it from a coaching.
Right.
Coaching.
But yeah, you forgot, we picked up, we had Mathis, which is a beast when healthy, and then we got the guy from Clemson, which is an absolute monster.
KJ Henry, yep. KJ Henry's pretty good.
Yeah, we got people in place. The Redskins are, I keep saying Redskins, Commanders are smart, and they got pieces around if Chase Young or Sweat, and most likely one of the 2 gonna be signed next year because we gonna have $99 million in cap money paid next year. So we gonna have the money to sign free agents or our players back. So we got the money. If Chase have a good season, they gonna sign them. If Mountain Sweat have a good season, we're going to sign Montez Sweat. We're going to have a good season. We can sign them. So the ball is in their court. They have a good season. We're going to sign them. It's up to them to see, like Kevin said, health-wise. If Matthew stay healthy, we can have the #1 defense in the NFL and improve our pass defense from the 22nd pass defense. We was number 3.
Yes, we were number 3. That's right, Steve.
We were.
We had a good team last year. I don't care what anybody said.
But defensive line, and we got better, and then we picked up another linebacker.
Yep.
So we can't get nothing but up.
No, you know what, Steve, Marilyn, and Kev.
How smart they are.
I would say I agree to everything all 3 of you said, and it's factual. What I want to see this year, and this is one thing, and now I get into my comments. This is one thing that Jonathan Allen has said. He said, "Look out for this year. I'm going to do amazing things." And then when he was pressed on by Julie Donaldson, he said, "No, you just watch. Just watch what I'm about to do. You're going to be amazed." Yeah. I'm like, okay, what you mean bold like that? Now, if I heard Chase Young say that, then I'll be safe because I know they're going to pick up his 5th-year option. I just don't know at this point. It's all on the table for him. But everybody has to be healthy, right? Because I know Kev just explained it as well. 18-game seasons that the NFL has implemented this year is going to be tough. That means back-to-back Thursday nights. That means back-to-back Sunday games, Saturday games. Those Monday night games, back-to-back Monday night game is going to be crucial because you're just coming off a Sunday night game previously, and then you have the whole week off to gain more of your energy back. It's going to be energy draining, process. But you got these trainers that have to be on point with all the players to have that conditioning right. I think we have all the tangibles, right? The one person I want to see more than anything is Kashmir Allen. Now, Kashmir Allen is the wide receiver / kick returner of the UCLA Bruins that is faster than anything. And we luckily got him in the draft. Now he replaces the combination of Antonio Gibson and Dax Mullane. Now, I don't like Dax Mullane because he's not that quick, he's not that agile, and he's not that good on kickoffs. He's not good in wide receiver. He could catch, but he can't move the chains like a Donnie Brown and Scary Terry and Johan Dotson.
Mm-hmm.
I think what they did was they jumped the gun on Dax Mullane. Now they need to put him on special teams and let him sit there for a moment and put the guy Kashmir in as soon as we start training camp, because I think he's like a Brandon Banks. He got Brian Mitchell's speed. Put this guy on the field. All right, just stop teasing us. Just put him on the field. So let's go into the second one. The second question I have for you guys is: there's a big uproar on the defense, and you guys know who it is. I'm going to go ahead and say it. EMMANUEL Forbes. EMMANUEL Forbes, Mississippi State, Bog Hog himself. I call him a D'Angelo Hall number 2 because he reminds me of D'Angelo Hall with a flash, a little Darryl Green speed, a little flash of, Carlos Rogers, a little flash of, y'all might think I'm crazy, but remember Rashad Breeland? He reminds me a little bit of Rashad Breeland a little bit, because Rashad was 100% a consistent player. He did some bonehead things in the beginning, but he shined at the last minute when it counted. And this man is that type of player. He's rolled up into one. Now, Jack Del Rio is 100% happy that we acquire EMMANUEL Forbes. But it's not just him alone. So this is what I'm going to say, and then I'm going to ask you, all three of you, the same question. We got KG Henry. We got Quan from the University of Illinois, fighting on Illini. We also got some really good previous selections in the previous draft. We still got Percy Butler, Arkansas center, safety, who I'm really high on because he got the EMMANUEL Forbes tangibilities. We also go Cam Curl actually came out, cut his hair, cut the dreads off. He's ready to go. So my question to you three is our defense going to be one in the NFC East or one in the NFL? Let's go with Maryland, then we'll go with Kev, and then we will go with Steve last. Go ahead, Maryland.
Oh, I believe that we're going to be number one in the NFL with our defense. I got to say it.
I'm right there with you.
Oh, yeah. We're going to do it. We're going to do it.
Well, I'm right there with you.
What I'm seeing and what I am listening to, I have heard they're going to surprise you.
I mean, I see it. I see it.
Yeah, man.
Go ahead, Kev.
I do.
What you think, man?
I think the defense gonna be better with Chase Young. I don't know where they're going to be. They should be, if they beat up from last year, they should be, I would say, in the top 7. And the reason why I'm saying it, because like you look at what the Eagles just did as far as the draft pick and picking up the kid from Georgia to place Hargrove, that was huge right there. So their defense is still going to be attacked. I think that right now, until they can really figure out offensively how the quarterback situation is going to pan out,
right?
They're going to rely heavily on the defense to get 3 and outs, and most just give a field goal and let's go and try. But I would say they could anywhere from 1 to 7. I would put your defense.
Okay, I like that assessment. I like how you broke down the division, and you did give a good point about the Eagles. And then the Eagles did acquire Swift from the Detroit Lions, who killed us last year. But I like how you did that, that breakdown of the division. It was key. Steve, what do you think?
We got the number 1 defense in the NFL, correct? We're gonna win the NFC East by virtue of our number 1 defensive line. No one is even Swift is not going to run against us. Period. And our offensive line, we got the best. We by paper, we got the best wide receivers in the NFL. Period. We got 5 receivers that's on the 4-3 speed. 4-3. Remember, we got 5 receivers, and then you got Gibson as a number 6 receiver. Then we picked up Rodriguez, right?
Yeah.
We have 4 running backs, especially Robinson, that is dangerous, as running backs. And all we got to do is, like I said, our quarterbacks. We got 2 of the best quarterbacks around, young quarterbacks. And Wichita has been a quarterback for 9 years, which is good. I mean, we got all I can say. Once the quarterback situation get good, remember we got a 6'5" tight end, a 6'7" tight end, and a 6'8" tight end.
Well, you
and that 6'5" tight end can also block too. We gonna be damn good.
Well, let's remember this is a family show. Let's keep that in mind. But if you look at this, Steve, you made good points too. Okay, here's what I'm going to say. You have all the right components there, but remember there are also some DBs with the same type of speed who can keep up these wide receivers, right? What mainly means everything in the NFL is coaching, and we have to outcoach the coaches. If we don't outcoach the coaches, we can't move forward into our destination, right? So remember we got outcoached before, right?
Yeah, but this is money on the line. We got 2 owners and stuff that's not going to take it. They know their job is on the line, including our head coach. So if they do good, their job is safe. If they do bad, Merry Christmas to all of them.
Right.
Hey, I have a question for you guys.
Go ahead, Kev.
I'm listening to y'all, and I'm not a Redskins fan, and you guys are, so y'all a little biased on winning the division and things of that nature. Again, Washington has the eighth strength of schedule. They got the toughest strength of schedule number 8.
Yeah.
Out of all the teams. So you looking at Philly at 1. Okay, so let's say Philly drops maybe 2 games, and that puts them at what? I guess 17 games. That puts them at 15 and 13. They were 13 and 4 last year. So let's say they go 12 and 5 this year. You have the Giants at number 3. I don't know where they're going to go. I mean, they got a new tight end from you got the tight end from Oakland, Las Vegas.
Warren.
And then you have Dallas, and you got Dallas tied at 3 as well. And then you have Washington at number 8. And they're all, the whole division is in the top 10 of the strength of schedule because of how well you guys played last year. And if you think about Washington, 8-1, they had a possibility of making the playoffs.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And that was NFL facility. And that right there that's the attaboy for Rivera. But now we're going to see how good
that division is, because now the whole division plays tough hits. Eagles got number 1. Giants number 3. Dallas is for number 3. You got Washington at 8. Okay, so we're going to see how that falls out. Now, the thing about it is, if you go and look at Washington's schedule, the schedule is not that tough at the very beginning, because you guys should beat the Cardinals.
Yep.
That should be the Broncos, regardless of who the coach is.
Right.
Then you got Buffalo.
Now Buffalo. Oh, okay. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Ted. Go ahead. Finish.
Okay. Then you have the Bears. The Bears got pretty good defense, but they got a great quarterback too. Falcons are still looking to give themselves some identity. Then you go to the Giants. You play the Eagles again. The Patriots should be a win. Seattle, I don't know, because that's in Seattle. You know, when you fly all the way out there, that's a different atmosphere.
Absolutely.
You got the Giants, you got the Cowboys, you got the Dolphins, you got the Rams, you got the Jets, the 49ers, Cowboys. So you're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4. Out of the last 7 games, you got 5 teams that make the playoffs.
You think so?
And you have 2 games. You have 3 games at home. You got the Cowboys at home. You got the Rams at home. You got the Jets at home. You have the Dolphins, the 49ers, the Cowboys. So it's going to be really, really interesting how this thing turns out, because at the end of the year, you guys got 3 meaningful games. The Jets, where we think the Jets are going to be better because of Aaron Rodgers. 49ers,
Okay.
we know they got defense, but we don't know what the offense is because we don't know who the quarterback's going to be.
Yeah. So.
But you got Dallas.
Yeah.
So that last game with Dallas, that could be a game, depending on how the record plans out, that's going to really mean something.
So
Okay,
Kev,
so
I want to. I agree with you. I agree with you 100% that we have the task on our hands. But I'm going to go first, and then I love this conversation, because we had the same conversation about 2 weeks ago, but we went through the whole list, and I'm gonna start. Okay, so yes, you're absolutely right. We should beat the Cardinals. The Cardinals had a number. I think it's the last time we played them, they beat us 35 points to 28. All right, they came out on fire. We wasn't really ready on game 1 because we actually showed up late. I think this time we're more talent heavy than we were back then. Steve actually made a point that we have the best wide receiving tandem in the NFL, which is true. We got Scary Terry and we got Johan Dawson, one of the best combinations in the league. I think we take that win. Now, game 3 against Buffalo is going to be the test. Now, the test is whether we can stay with them, because they already proven they are, dominant heavy on defense, and they're just, conservative on defense. I think our defense is going to persevere. And the reason why I believe it's going to persevere, just because what I heard, that we got our DL back, Fedarius Mathis. Now, remember, Fedarius Mathis had tore his Achilles, not Achilles, but his ACL in the first preseason game before anything happened. And then they had to put him out. He is back. He's more stronger now. I think the more tangibles that we have now than we had in the beginning, it's going to set its tone. Now, I can also give you the tight ends. Logan Thompson is improving. Cole Turner, who's now was sitting on the bench, who didn't really get that much, who had a concussion, is starting to show more of his talent in OTAs. So these are bright spots. Now, that might not mean anything, but for us fans who've been here in Commander Land, knows that when you show a bit of talent, it persevered through the year. And look what Scary Terry did in his first year. He torched up every team. We had some losses. I'm not going to lie. Because I'm getting a little in it, but I'm making a point. There was who was that other wide receiver that we had? Dami Brown. Dami Brown late when we start winning 5-game winning streak with, Taylor Heineke, right? So the more that we start to turn the tables on our opponents, it gets better. Now you're right. Our first half games should be winnable. The true test, the true grit of everything, comes at the end of the year. I'm talking about the second half where we had to put on our boxing gloves. And in the history of the Commanders, even though they were a different team by then, we have always battled. And when we battle, we always win. I'm talking about grit. I'm talking about smash mouth. When we smash mouth another team. Exactly. Monday night, I was going to go. Marilyn said it perfectly. Monday night is the prime example what we can do when we put our boxing gloves on, bro. And Kev, when I tell you that Monday night, every analyst on every network, including even ours, said that the Eagles were going to demolish us. And we step onto that field, all the jitters were gone. And
see, the thing about this, when you make and the analysts on it, when they make that comment, it doesn't. To me, it makes no sense at all.
Yeah.
Because I can see if you guys don't play each other 2 times a year.
Right.
I can see that. I can see that being the scenario. But you guys play each other, so you know each other better than anybody else know each other.
Right.
So to make that comment, I really don't get them. I mean, it's a divisional game, so there's a different feel for it. You know what I'm saying? Because when one guy does this, you know what you're going to do. So what has to happen is both teams got to go in the bag and try to pull out something that other teams don't know about to maybe win the game. You know what I'm saying? So when they make those comments about rivalry games, I threw it out the window because you know each other very well.
Right.
You know, and a lot of times those games end up being close games because, for one, you know each other. But my question to you, Rasu, is what do you think the Redskins record is going to be?
Oh, now that is a great question. You went there. You took me to you put me on the spot. So I think based off you know what, it's gonna come down to the second half, and I'm gonna tell you exactly that. I'm gonna go directly to the schedule itself and give you my points of why I believe we're gonna do great this year. So here is the second half. Right now, you said week 2 we go against the Broncos, we should beat them because even though they have Russell Wilson, and really it's not gonna matter. And I totally agree with that. But still, they got a head coach by the name of Sean Payton, who's there. But we're gonna have a battle of our lifetime there. I think we're gonna battle out with the Falcons. But the Falcons had a number either every other year. So I think that's gonna be a test of where we go. Now, here we're coming to here we go with. I'm gonna start with week 10. Now, we have beaten the Seattle Seahawks at home before. I think we have a little bit of I say a slight edge because we have really good talent on defense. I think defensively we'll win that game by 3. Not a whole large margin. I don't think it's a blowout. I'm not that crazy, but I think we will beat them by 3. Now, Giants on the other hand, we've been poking at Giants for a while. Getting 1 win and 2 here. I think it depends on our offense and who's going to be on fire. If it's going to be Sam Howell, is it going to be Johan Dotson, Scary Terry, what have you. I think also that's going to be a low-scoring game, 3 points. I'll say about 17-20. Dallas, on the other hand, and Dallas, it's a difficult place to play. We recently beat Dallas in 2010, 2012, and 2015. But I think Dallas doesn't have a really good defense.
Last year, too.
Yeah. I mean, Dallas last year had an offense.
See, that's when the team clicked.
Yeah.
That's the reason I wanted Heineke.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Heineke had us the best chance of winning, right? But the reason why they let him go is because he didn't have the arm strength. and him being like that, but he had the footwork, he had the game manageable, and he understood what to do, right? But nobody wants to play the short field game. In this league, you don't play the short field game. You play the whole entire field, and Heineke couldn't do that. That's why they let him go. But I still say they should have kept him. I think Dallas is going to be a true test of what we can do in Dallas and how this team comes together. I think what we need to do ultimately is see how that comes about. Now, Miami Dolphins, this is where the problem comes in, because Miami, we beat Miami with what's his name? The one with the beard. I forgot his name. We got him. What's his name? Yeah, Captain Comeback. The quarterback that was in Miami, we traded for him to come and play here, but he got injured.
Talking about Teddy Bridgewater.
No. The guy before him.
No.
The one with the beard. The one that who threw a lot of touchdowns for Tampa Bay.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm trying to get his name too. I know it begins with an F.
And I didn't. You know what? I didn't want to.
You talk about who did he play for now?
I think he's retired.
He retired because he got that hip injury.
Oh, talking about,
He was hurt. He got hurt. I think it's him.
you talking about I see his face right now.
Yeah, see, that's how I feel right now, Kev. I'm trying to get his name. I know it begins with an F. It's something Gordon. Something Gordon. Fitzpatrick. Yes, thank you. Fitzpatrick, we played against him in Miami, and last minute he threw that pass and it dropped. The wide receiver dropped it. We luckily came out of there by 2 points. Now they come here with Tagovailoa. Tagovailoa had multiple concussions. Now they're going to put him on the field. Now Tagovailoa and that whole offense is now gelled and much better than anything. This will be a test more than anything if we could beat this team with this defense, with this offense, and the players we have. So this game, I have us losing because of the fact they are more experienced, and they have, and this is the first time I said it on the show, that my team will lose to a team. But this will be the test, because right now this team is more experienced, more talented, and more coached than us. And they've been to the playoffs, right?
And one of the things, that's the problem what they have that I think is going to be Miami. Their quarterback, he don't have much of a protection than he used to. Remember when he took that hit and he started shaking, I said, man, his career is over with.
But see, that's the thing, Steve. But if you look at the stats, Steve. But if you look at the stats, Steve. But see, listen, the reason why he got hit is because most of the defense of the opposing team, they play 5-man deep, and then they play off the ball. That's why they had enough time to get to him. Huh?
The thing is now our defensive line is number one. And what do you think we're gonna do there?
Well, I'm not saying that we're not going to get no hits on them. I'm saying if you look at the scheme of it, our offense is just starting. If we don't gel,
we're gonna beat them.
I understand. I'm being more realistic. I get what you're saying, Steve.
You're gonna beat who?
No. Listen. I'm looking at the stats of everything, right? The stats have shown that this team, when they get hot, they don't stop getting hot, right? So when that
you know what else?
Yeah.
What y'all got to realize is now they have 2 shutdown corners.
That's what I was talking. That's what we're trying to tell Steve. This team is well built. Now here's that. Kev just made a great point. The 2 shutdown corners, this defense had gelled together well. That's what I'm saying. I'm not discrediting my team. Of course not. I believe in their abilities. What I'm stating is that statistically, every category that they have excel number. I'm gonna pull it up so that you understand when I'm coming.
And you know what else? Razoo.
Yeah.
If they get Dalvin Cook, oh, it's gonna be over.
Exactly, because they need a running back. They don't have a running back.
Richard. Dallas is talking about giving him.
Well,
I don't think they can throw him.
Let me pull out the stats.
Why would Dallas give up?
No, Dallas is not going to give it. No.
Actually, Dallas is of Elliott.
Well, oh yeah, they did get rid of Zeke. Yes, they did. But here's the problem: Zeke doesn't have the burst. Yeah, Zeke is only a 5-yard burst. Zeke is only good for the end zone. So you got to put him in the red zone. So he doesn't have that burst where you can beat a lineman off the ball and have him go 80 yards. He's not that type of running back anymore.
They don't have Zeke no more. They released Zeke.
Exactly.
Right, they got rid of Zeke. Exactly. So if Zeke goes to,
they do have to get a running back because Pilot had broke his ankles or whatever in the playoff game.
Yeah.
So you don't know how you don't know what his situation is going to be going forward either. So
well, that's why you're right. You're right, Kev. Yeah. But they went and drafted 2 running backs in the draft, so they're going to put them ready to go. So here's what I got on the Dolphins stats. Now I'm a stat guy, and the reason why I'm a stat guy, folks, is because it shows exactly.
Stats don't always
right. It's okay, Marilyn. I'm glad you pointed that out. But this is factual for me. Look, check this out. First down totals. Miami averaged 342. Their opponents 336. That says a lot because they play this zone. They don't play zone. They play a combination of 3-3, 3-3-5. Right? So if you look at it like this, they come and bunch in together and they play collectively together. So if the ball's thrown that way, you can chip off a wide receiver, right? You could bump a wide receiver when they come and get the ball. And then